is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Time. I am your host, Jacob Cutler, Fantasy Guy, and today I have a very special presentation for you guys. No Wednesday, no Friday episode. We're dropping a Saturday episode, but it is a two-parter. Yes, Brandon and I are going over the highlights from the championship games that we are basically a week removed from. We're bringing it down. We're giving you all of our thoughts, all of our analysis. Normally I would do it on Wednesday, right? But I wanted to wait. I wanted to make sure that both of us could do it because I just wanted to get both of our thoughts on basically what we saw, because what we saw was absolutely incredible, right? And then the second part of the episode is just basically our takeaways for the season, and that is dropping on Wednesday. So you're getting double the trouble, right? Double the action, double the information, right? So part one is going to be us recapping the championship games. Part two is our takeaways from the season. And let me tell you, it's some absolute fire. You are definitely not going to want to miss that episode, and that is coming to you on Wednesday. But if at any point during these videos you like what you see, please smash that like button, smash subscribe, and just tap on that bell notification. That way, anytime new videos drop, and they drop every Wednesday and Friday, normally, barring any special presentations, right? You're right there. You're right there to consume the content, because Brandon and I are dropping knowledge all season long, right? It's right at your feet. You just got to pick it up, shove it in the head of yours, shake it around, and boom. Better fantasy player and a more knowledgeable football human being, right? Because that's what it's about. If you're not growing, you are dying. So always look for the opportunities to expand your knowledge in anything that you are passionate about. So smash the like button, smash subscribe, and just tap on that bell notification to stay up to date on all the latest content. And remember, boom, please visit our website, fantasytimesports.info, for all the information you need on Fantasy Time, right? It has our videos, our links, it has everything that you could want, all in one convenient place. And I just made it basically, if you don't have Twitter, if you don't have Facebook, it is an easy place where you can go to get updates and just get everything you need in terms of Fantasy Time, right? That's all I'm about. I'm just about making it easy for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it in part one of our two-part video with Brandon and us recapping the championship games. Alrighty, welcome back to a very, very, very special presentation of Fantasy Time. And we got a good one for you. This is going to be a two-part episode. Yes, the first part dropping today on Saturday, right? Next part dropping on Wednesday, right? So you're getting double the action, double the trouble, double the flavor, double whatever you want to call it. I hope you're ready, because we are getting into it. And I have to say, I had to postpone the Wednesday episode because of the events that transpired over this past weekend. I had to get a certain individual involved, and you know him, right? He's been with me all season long. One of my best friends, Brandon Sullivan. Brandon, how you doing?
Doing good, man. It's crazy to think that we're already in February and we're getting ready to. Normally the Super Bowl would be this Sunday.
Yeah.
But with the changing of everything, adding that extra week, we get an extra week of football.
Yep.
And so we now are going to be looking towards wrapping up the season, which is crazy because it's been one hell of a ride, but it seems like it went by so quick.
Yeah, that's for sure, right? I feel like we just did our first episode like last week. Like it's been zooming by. And now we're at the most prestigious event in all of the NFL, right? The Pro Bowl. Yeah. I'm just kidding. The Super Bowl, right? We're at the Super Bowl. Yeah. What a Super Bowl it shall be, right? What a Super Bowl it shall be. But these videos that we're going to bring you is going to recap the action that you saw last weekend. And also, I'm just going to be honest, okay? The season grades video, it's not coming together, right? So I'm scrapping that, and we're just going to give you our takeaways for the year, right? We're just going to give you our takeaways on what we saw in, I guess, one of the weirdest NFL seasons I think we to date, I think we've ever seen, right? I mean, I don't think we've ever seen a weirder NFL season. Have you?
No doubt.
Yeah. I mean, this season has had everything, literally everything that you could have possibly wanted. So, I mean, we're going to get into it, but quickly, we're going to go over our what happened last week, right? So, let's put the overall playoff records on the screen. All right, so you're sitting at 6-4, 1-1 on the guaranteed victories. I'm sitting at 5-5, 1-1 on the guaranteed victories. Let's put it up on how we did last week. Rough week for you, my friend. Rough week, and we're joining forces. It looks like 0-2. Didn't get a guaranteed victory from you last week. That's okay. I know you didn't want to jinx your team, and I know you didn't want to bet against the Bengals deep down inside. I know.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Right, but. Finishing off the playoffs, or I guess going into the Super Bowl, 6-6, right? Same with me. 1-1 turns into 6-6. 2-1 though on the guaranteed victories, thanks to my Bengals, baby. Anytime I guaranteed victory this year, they have got it done. 3-0 on the guaranteed victories for the Bengals this season. I can't be any prouder, I guess. Cannot be any prouder. We will get into.
He's a proud papa.
I'm proud. You're damn right. You're damn right. But we will get into our picks on our Super Bowl edition dropping next Friday. So you are definitely going to want to be prepared for that because we're basically a week out. We're 8 days away now, right? We're 8 days away from the biggest game of the season. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. We're gonna do what coaches do. We're gonna watch some film, and I'm just gonna get some. I'm gonna get Brandon's thoughts on what we witnessed this Sunday, or this past Sunday. So let's put the film up on the screen. So I mean, I think we both can agree that the Chiefs started like the Chiefs always do, which was electric. Absolutely electric. And that crowd was.
And I remember texting you, man, just sending you text messages. I was like, okay, so they're gonna score here. They're gonna score here. Oh man, you guys only got a field goal, so now you guys are gonna go 14-3 because you're not gonna be able to stop. It was crazy. They were having a field day in the first half.
And what did I text you?
I'm not worried. And I texted you, you should be.
So, what were your thoughts, right? They go up 21-3. What were your thoughts? Chiefs go up 21-3.
This is going to be a long day for Bengals fans, especially Jake and myself, because, ever since, the season started, I've wanted your team to make it to the Super Bowl against the 49ers. So I've always been on your guys' bandwagon. I love Joey and I love Chase. So I was really pretty upset, man. And I just felt like it was going to be a long day. And I just thought, there's no way you're going to be able to stop this offense.
I'm going to be honest. I was ready to turn off the game at one point and one point only. I was ready to turn it off and go in the room and just sit by myself and watch the annihilation that I was going to witness. But, then I remembered who my quarterback was, and I just relaxed, and it went away, and I was able to watch the game, and I was able to relax. So, then we come to, right, we get the play by Samaji, right? He gets that nice 41-yard the running back screen, right? Takes it to the touchdown. I mean, how bad is the Chiefs' defense?
It's crazy. It's crazy that they have so many issues with their secondary, and they have so much issues with their run defense. It's crazy that they just have so many holes on that defense.
I mean, he basically goes untouched into the end zone. No one even touches him. No one even tries to attempt to tackle him. So that brings him within, right? We got 21-10, and then maybe it was the biggest play of the entire game, right? Tell me, how big was that stop by the Bengals defense before halftime?
Well, I told you on the phone. You hadn't really thought about it because you were so emotional in the moment just because it's your team's playing. But I told you straight up, that may have been the play that changes the entire game around. You said, you might be right. And I think that if you would have recollected on your thoughts and you would have gathered them, just because you're you're so emotional because your team's playing, man.
Oh,
So me, I mean, obviously I'm not near as emotional as you because I'm not really invested in it. Obviously I want the Bengals to win, but I'm able to think from like outside in and be like, you know, to take all these other games because and I just thought, you know, it was a stupid play by the Chiefs. You don't throw the ball in bounds when you don't have a timeout left. So and 24-10 looks so much different than 21-10.
Yep.
Because you were able to that brought the Bengals momentum, right? Because when you get that big stop, that lets the defense know psychology wise, we can stop them.
Yeah.
And that momentum they took with them into the locker room into the next half. 100%, that was the biggest play of the game.
Yeah, I mean, massive play, right? Massive play. And then that's what I was letting you know. As long as we're at least within 14 points, we stand a good chance because
we did, yeah.
This team, and Joey even said it, this team is a second half team, and they've been a second half team all season long. They play their best football in the second half. They get everything going in the second half. Everybody just steps up and plays in the second half. So as long as they can keep it within a relatively strikeable total, the Bengals will always have a chance, it seems like, right? So, I mean, they go into halftime, right? 21-10, down 11 points, just like they were in week 17. They come out of halftime. They get a massive stop against the Chiefs offense, right? They come out, they get that massive stop, and then Bengals offense goes down, gets the 3 points, right? They're able to drive the ball, get the 3 points. Chiefs come back on offense. Now, before we get into this next question, Patrick Mahomes struggling or Bengals defense making adjustments?
Patrick Mahomes struggling. And a little bit of both. But Patrick Mahomes looks scared in the second half. He didn't look like himself. You know what? I'll say this. Patrick Mahomes did not look like he wanted it, I would say. On top of that, I'm going to say that your defense definitely made adjustments. I'm not going to take anything away from them completely. But I think the adjustments on defense is what caused Patrick Mahomes to struggle. I think that there was, I don't know what Patrick Mahomes that was in the second half. It was like a complete just choke job. I'm sorry.
It was a different quarterback, right? It was a different quarterback. And then we have the second biggest play of the game, right? B.J. Hill picking him off with an epic interception by a lineman. Now, once he made that interception, the momentum has completely shifted, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's crazy that play. You just don't see. I just don't see stuff like that happen very often with defensive linemen. It's kind of like a fluky play, you know?
Especially with
Mahomes. Up in the air, and D linemen aren't usually good with handling balls. I mean, we see them get fumbles and they fumble it again, and we see them tip passes and not get interceptions all the time. So when that happened in Kansas City territory, oh man, you're just asking for trouble when you have Joey Burrow as the quarterback. You're asking for trouble.
Now, he gets the ball and he does exactly what he's supposed to do, right? So, I mean, your thoughts when he not only scores the touchdown, right? He finds the sneaky Trent Taylor in the flat of the end zone for the 2-point conversion. We were on the phone. I mean, your thoughts. Let me hear them.
It was comedy. It was just like, wow. Unbelievable. The moment, you could just feel like my intuition told me they're gonna take this game. And I was so happy for Trent. You know, the guy has battled a lot of controversy, you know, just with injuries and, you know, practice squad and
just called up.
And so I was happy to see Trent make a big time play on a big game on the road. He deserves those opportunities. He's a very good slot receiver, and I think he's really shifty. And like you said, he's sneaky. He was able to sneak that touchdown or that 2-point conversion in, which I think took so much air out of that stadium.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, I mean like that state. I think those people in Kansas City were in absolute disbelief at what they're witnessing because they're used to Pat Mahomes doing what Joe Burrow's doing. But guess what? The Chiefs got chiefed again, twice in one season. We saw an opposing quarterback do exactly what the Kansas City Chiefs do to so many teams in the NFL. I mean, how sweet is that, right? So, defense makes some incredible stops. Evan McPherson gets the go-ahead field goal, 24-21. Pat Mahomes gets the ball back, right? Each quarterback got the ball one time. And of course, in typical Pat Mahomes fashion, he drives the ball down the field. But, I mean, there were so many great plays in this game. Sam Hubbard making another key play, right? Only rushing 3, had him as the spy. He's like, you know what? Okay, I'm tired of this. Boom, jets to him. When he fumbled that ball, were you like, oh, please, Bengals recover it?
Oh, yes. And then I was just like, oh, man, of course it bounces into of course, the offensive lineman is right there.
Yeah.
The ball goes right to him. He recovers it. And I thought, oh, my gosh, now at this point, what's going to happen is they're going to make the field goal and it's going to come down to the flip of a coin. My worst, everybody's worst nightmare in Kansas City.
Harrison Butker, right, kicks the game-tying field goal, and we're going.
I'm sure we both agree that he just, in those big moments, he makes those field goals.
Yeah, I agree. Harrison Butker, he's a great kicker.
He's a good kicker, yeah.
Yep. No disrespect to Harrison Butker, right? Any kicker who makes their kicks in the NFL, I respect you just because of I think the kicker is probably the highest turnaround position, I think, in any business.
I would agree. That and the quarterback.
Yeah, true. So, Harrison Butker kicks the game-tying field goal to send it into overtime. And you would have thought that Stone Cold Steve Austin himself was walking out of the tunnel at a WWE event when Brandon Allen's... What are you doing, bro? How many... If you can't call tails at a coin toss, you shouldn't be out there. Bottom line. If you're not calling tails, get the hell out of the coin toss. I'm sorry. If you lose on tails, just let it be. But to call heads? What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? Calls heads. Chiefs win the toss. That stadium erupts. Your thoughts?
Oh, game's over. Because we've seen Patrick Mahomes time and time again, when they get that coin toss, the other quarterback does not get the ball. So it's and we have every right to believe that because he's such, he's got the weapons. He's such a good quarterback that he normally is able to put plays together and march right down the field and for the touchdown. So that's what I thought was going to happen. What about you?
I felt good.
Right? I mean, you weren't counting your team off because you're invested in them and you believe in the team, but you had a feeling it could go back, right?
I felt good about our defense. I thought it was going to be a task. It was definitely going to be a task, but I thought at the very least, possibly a field goal. But yeah, I think every fan thought the same thing. Where we've seen this movie before. What is this like the Chiefs 3? Is this the Chiefs 3 or something? Kansas City Chiefs 3? So yeah, I mean, everybody's seen that sequel before. I think everybody kind of had an idea of what it was going to happen, but nobody had any clue that what happened was going to happen, right? You had him throw a bona fide pick 6 right to Eli Apple, who drops the ball right in his hands. Could have just ended the game.
Oh,
that was tough.
That one hurt me even.
That was tough.
And that's why they're not wide receivers, right?
Yeah.
Because these guys have dropped more interceptions this season than I can remember.
It's true. Then you have, but he's like, you know what? if I want to throw you guys the ball, I'm gonna throw you guys the ball. He launches a ball into double coverage, and Jesse Bates, one of the best safeties in the league, makes a spectacular defensive play, knocking the ball into Vonn Bell's hands. Now, when that second pick happened, I know you and I both had the same thought, right? Because you even texted it to me. Game. There it is, right there.
Yeah, because I trust Joey in that situation to make the plays.
Yep. How confident are you? How confident were you in Joey that he's going to get the job done?
Extremely confident. I mean, this guy, it's just night and day. When I see, there's so many quarterbacks that when I see them drop back and they're getting ready to throw a pass, I get nervous because I think they're going to throw it into traffic. I think that they're going to read the defense incorrectly. I think they're going to not look off the safety or the corner correctly, and there's going to be a pick. What's crazy to me is, I don't know if you saw this, but Tyrann Mathieu was on the bench.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, Joey, he's just too smart. He doesn't even read through his progressions. He just waited for us to drop back and then he ran. Yeah. This guy is just too smart.
Yep.
The thing about Joseph Lee Burrow is this guy is just so incredibly, he's intellectually sound. He is such a smart quarterback that I thought there is no way that he is going to put that ball into harm's way. All he has to do is make a few efficient throws, and yeah, it's a lot easier than it sounds, or a lot harder than it sounds, I should say.
Yeah.
But I had the confidence that he would be able to do exactly what he did in Tennessee.
Yeah. I mean, he just, like you said, right? It's just the IQ, right? Someone tweeted, the thing that might separate Joe Burrow from Patrick Mahomes is simple. It might be just simply be the IQ, right? Joe Burrow just might simply be the smarter quarterback at the end of the day. I mean, in one of the other, I think this one was the turning point, NFL turning point, right? Where you got the audio. He even says that he even noticed that the Chiefs he didn't rush against the Chiefs the first time. So they had no idea that he was going to rush this time. So he was just like, yeah, I'll just keep that in my back pocket. And then when I need to use it, I'll use it, right? And he makes two amazing rushes, right? I mean, what about the before we get into the final play of the game, look, we have to go over the sack run. Chris Jones has this man in a bear hug, and like Eli Manning, the elusiveness of a cat, just scrambles away, high steps the second attempted tackle from Chris Jones, because he's like, how did I not get him? I can get this guy. Dives. Joey just high steps him like it's nothing, and then he just sticks out the ball over the first down like, oh, you know what? Let me put the cherry on top of this epic run. I mean, what were your thoughts going through that? Because my mind was blown. We were screaming.
I just can't believe it. I just can't believe it. And I know I'm getting a little sidetracked here, but 4-12, the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm sorry. It's comedy. It's comedy. This guy comes to the sorry-ass Bengals team and is taking them to the Super Bowl. It's one of the greatest performances single season by a quarterback I have ever seen in my entire life. I cannot believe that this dude was able to come back from 21-3 and make big plays with his feet. Do whatever it takes on the road to beat Patrick Mahomes and a team that is heavily favorited, especially when they're at home, to go to the Super Bowl with that team. I don't know. I mean, if that doesn't sum it up, I don't know I don't know what else to say.
Right? And then 3 plays later, he makes another amazing run, right, to get him in the field goal for the game leading field goal by Shooter. But let's get back to the action, because we got the kid. I mean, who did Adam Vinatieri pass away without me knowing and then just get reincarnated into Evan McPherson so he can kick more field goals? What the hell?
I'm Evan McPherson over Adam Vinatieri.
I mean, this kid has just ice in his veins. 4 for 4. Are you in the AFC Championship on the road? I mean, you want to talk about Joey? Let's talk about this kid. This kid's a rookie kicker.
Did you hear Tony Romo? Hey, guess what, Coach? Looks like we're going to the. He starts laughing. Looks like we're going to the Super Bowl before he goes out to get the.
I mean, this kid is incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible. So let's just put it up there. As Shooter is lining up for this kick, can you believe that the Cincinnati Bengals are about to go to the Super Bowl?
I still can't believe it. I still cannot believe it. I knew the kick was going in, though. I knew it too.
He drilled it. Absolutely drilled that kick. Absolutely.
And I could hear a pin drop in that stadium.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I mean, absolute shock.
What do you think Jackson Mahomes was thinking?
Oh, I thank God. Thank you. We don't have to see him for a long time. Oh, he's very upset that he's not going to be able to do one of his TikTok dances at SoFi Stadium. I think all of America thanks the Bengals for that.
Thank you, Evan McPherson, for ending that. Please.
Yeah, for real. For real. Overall thoughts on the game?
Just like every game in the postseason, essentially since the first round. I always say the first round of any playoffs, I feel like is underwhelming. The second and third rounds are always incredible, I feel like, and for the most part.
Yeah.
And the game started off slow. Because I mean, if you're a Chiefs fan, it's exciting, but root for the Bengals. It started off slow.
Yeah,
it turned into an awesome football game. Definitely an instant classic. I will definitely, if they play that on NFL Network or ESPN where they re-show the game in the future, which they will, I'll definitely tune in and watch it. That's a game I could watch over again. It was an amazing game. Give Joe Burrow so much credit, and the moment was not too big for him. In the moment, it prevailed. Patrick Mahomes' backyard football didn't work.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's methodical schematics, just everything. Give the Informatics team a lot of credit for understanding, what the Chiefs were going to try to do on the defensive side.
Yeah.
What they were going to try to do defense and offensively.
Yeah.
I think. I didn't see Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce do much in the second half. That was the biggest thing that I think changed the game as far as give your defense credit for holding them to 3 points in the second half. That's incredible.
Yep. I mean, it was an absolutely hell of a game. A game that I'll never forget. A game I've already rewatched. It is a fantastic game. If you're a Bengals fan, could not be happier. And
I was downtown Folsom last night. I was at a bar called Scarlett's, and everybody's vibing, and a guy walks in with a Bengals jacket on. And I'm wondering, is this guy like Jake? Has he been a fan his whole life, or is he just some bandwagoner that jumped on the Joey B bandwagon? Because I have never seen Bengals gear around here ever. So it made me think of you immediately. He's on that hype train. People are buying into Joey.
They're definitely buying into Joey. Definitely. But that was only game 1 of 2. We had a second game that afternoon. Your game, the Niners at the Rams. We'll go through this. I know we're not going to relive much of it. I don't have too many questions on this one because I don't want to relive that much of it. But Rams, right? Matt Stafford leaves them down the field. Cooper Kupp makes the touchdown, right? Rams score early. Were you worried?
No, I wasn't worried because we have been down early to the Rams before. We've been down early in games before. I mean, hell, Aaron Rodgers went down and scored a touchdown and immediately. And we were able to respond and hold them to 3 points for the rest of the game. I mean, he went down and scored in 4 or 5 minutes. So for 55 minutes of the rest of the game, they only scored 3 more points.
Yep.
So, no, I wasn't worried at all. I thought that, it's too early to be worried. I thought that you got to give DeMeco Ryans a little bit of credit. You got to give him you got to be patient a little bit because he's going to make the adjustments, which he usually does.
Yeah, so, I mean, going down early, Cooper Kupp, lighting it up this season. Lighting it up this season against any defense, any and all defense, right? That's going to be the key. Can you stop Cooper Kupp and can you limit Odell? Force the play on Van Jefferson, on Skermatics, or whatever that random-ass dude was who dropped that wide-open touchdown. I've never even heard of that guy in my life. We got to force the play into other people's hands, right? Deebo Samuel is top 3, if not the number 1 weapon in the NFL. Agree or disagree?
Agree. I think that it's him and Jamar Chase 1A, 1B. I don't know. You could say either or, because Jamar Chase kind of reminds me of Deebo because he's kind of a thick set guy,
yeah.
and he's able to make plays on the ball, and it doesn't necessarily need to run he doesn't necessarily need separation from receivers. He can make plays after the catch.
Yep.
Those are 2 yak receivers. So I believe that they're interchangeable. I believe that both of them present a lot of headaches for defensive coordinators, and I'm going to say that those are the 2 best weapons in the NFL by far.
Yeah, the little catch and run that he had, and just turning on the Jets, can't be stopped, right? Deebo is something else, right? He is emerging into something else, right? You just got to keep doing that, stay healthy, because he was on fire, right? This game was basically Cooper Kupp versus Deebo Samuel. You had Odell into the mix, right? His first playoff game, he got over 100 receiving yards. I know he's on the Rams, but was Odell really the problem? Was Odell really the problem? I don't think so. I think a certain quarterback in a certain city of Cleveland might be the problem. Just saying. Not to name any names.
Yeah.
After the Kittle touchdown, what do you believe changed the game, right? So it was 17-3, correct?
It was 17-7.
17-7. Yeah, that's right. 17-7, right? At that point, right? Because for those who watched the game, who didn't watch the game, right? The Niners didn't score any more points the rest of the game. What do you believe changed the game?
I think, that penalty that Jimmy Ward got on 3rd down for helmet to helmet I think it was on Odell. That wasn't the time to get your payback. They went down, they went and scored the touchdown. I think that was really big. I think that's a momentum changer right there. And then for them to go 17-14, and then Jaquiski Tartt dropping the interception.
Yeah.
With 10 minutes left, do I think that would have won the game? Not necessarily, but I think that you have an opportunity to get some momentum there and possibly put some points on the board, because 17-14 at that point, even if you just get a field goal, it's 20-14. If you can hold the Rams to 2 field goals, you're at least going to overtime.
Yep.
So I'm not sure I like our chances with the way that Jimmy was playing. So I don't know. I think that the biggest thing though was that penalty on 3rd down where you gave him a free 15-yard penalty.
15, yeah. After that massive gain, and then you give them 15 more additional yards, definitely massive play in the game.
Yeah.
So they drive down, kick the field goal, they tie it up, right? Jimmy gets the ball back, defensive stops him, Rams get the ball back, drive down, kick the field goal to take the lead. Does a little seed of doubt creep in, or are you like, okay, we've been here before, we know what to expect, we're going to get the job done?
The Super Bowl came back in my mind. The Super Bowl came back in my mind when you were down 24-20. Same scenario. It's just a 1-point difference, 20-17. It was 24-20. You hadn't put up any points in the 4th quarter. You were up 10 points to start the 4th quarter. In the Super Bowl, it was 20-10. In this game, it was 17-7 to start. Both 10-point differences. You had multiple opportunities At that point, I was extremely nervous, but I thought all you need is a field goal.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You don't need to score a touchdown. So you just got to get down the field and kick a field goal. And you've got a timeout, and you've got plenty of time. I just did not have confidence in Jimmy at that point in time. I was very nervous. I was more so thought that we wouldn't get it done than we would, just because of his last 2 drives were very flat.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that Rams defense, right? Aaron Donald calling everybody over, having that little team meeting. I don't know what it did to them, but it fired all of them up, and they were locked down, after, like, basically from that point on, right? Because Jimmy gets the ball, a long third and I think 13, right? And he's running around. Aaron Donald's right there. Instead of taking the sack and going to 4th and, 16, 17, one more chance, just little dinky pass to Hasty. Hasty tips it and then pick. Game. Very, very, I don't want to say a fitting ending to Jimmy's tenure with the Niners, but when it's all said and done, he may not have delivered the greatest prize in sports, which is the Lombardi Trophy, but he did get you there. He has gotten you to the NFC Championship multiple occasions in what I think only 4 years of being on the team. Give me your final thoughts, because we all know that he's gone. We don't know where he's going, but we know he is gone, right? We know a certain era is starting, but give me your final thoughts on Jimmy G.
Man, it's hard, just to have this conversation, because we were 0-10 in 2017. I remember I was working at Verizon, and I talked to Tank Carradine. Some of the people came in, and I just said, I have faith in you guys. You guys are going to turn it around. And, I talked to Bobby Turner, just the running backs coach. And, a lot of the Niners players would come in there, and I'd have conversations with them. But, and I always told them, I had faith. There's going to be we just got to see what happens. We just got to see what happens with the quarterback position. I said that. TJ Beathard got the first win against the New York Giants. And then we went on to lose to Seattle, and we were 1-11, or so we were 0-9. Beathard gets a win against the Giants, and then we were 1-10. Jimmy came in and rattled off 5 straight wins. We had a very dark. It was some dark times for Niners fans. We went through the Tom Sula, the Chip Kelly era, from going from Harbaugh to that. It was really hard. It's like everything's going so well, and then all of a sudden you hit rock bottom. You got a bunch of retread players.
Chip Kelly drafting all Oregon DNs.
Yeah, and just the decisions they made up until that point were not good. I think the only bright spot that season was Trent Taylor was playing well, and Kittle had a good year that year.
Yeah.
And just, we saw the first of Kittle, and it's Jimmy. I'm thankful for Jimmy. I'm thankful for everything he's done for the organization. I've been critical of him, and that's just the emotional side of me wanting the Niners to win. But he's an amazing leader. I think that his injury the next year, he was pretty mobile. I think that changed the game for him.
Definitely.
His confidence to run, that kind of thing.
Yep.
He was just ridden with injuries. But I think that he's a hell of a leader. I think that he's a leader of men. I think that all the players, the coaches, the ownership, the fans, everybody respects Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's just, it sucks, because it's kind of like the feeling of, I don't know how to use this. I feel like I'm putting my dog to sleep. That's kind of like how I feel, right? Like, this is my guy. I love him. And he's always so positive. He takes criticism so well. Yeah. He's always humble. The way that he handled this year with professionalism, because let's just face it, if it was me, I wouldn't be happy with having to go to work with my replacement every single day.
Yeah.
But
it makes sense.
Give John and Kyle credit in a way for letting him get one last chance to prove himself.
Yeah.
And we gave him that opportunity. He got pretty far.
Yeah.
But to me, the 49ers, in my opinion, have the best all-around team in the NFL. And there's no reason why you shouldn't have gone to the Super Bowl with that team. So,
yeah, I mean, we both agree. I mean, it should be the Bengals-Niners. I think we can both agree on that. I think we saw Jimmy's ceiling, and Jimmy hit his ceiling. You know, if anybody was a Jimmy G believer, I was probably the biggest, most undercover Jimmy G believer, and I even called you the day he was traded, letting you know that the savior of your franchise was coming. And what did he do? Just rattle off 5 straight victories at the end of the season, and like it was nothing. Like he was like, oh, finally, I get a chance to play football. And then coming into that next season, that injury, like you said, I think that changed his entire outlook, right? And you're 100% correct. Wasn't moving properly in the pocket, just happy feet, really, really scared feet, right? You saw it a lot. Really hinged his mobility, really hinged his mobility, because before that, he was actually a somewhat mobile quarterback. He was able to move, he was able to rush the ball, and then, yeah, him blowing out his knee, that definitely hurt them. But I think one thing I think and I hope, right, is all Niners fans, regardless of whatever team he goes to, anytime he comes back, he definitely deserves to get the respect that he deserves for being a quarterback. It's not like he came in and he was absolute dog crap, right? He took you guys to the NFC Championship. He took you guys to the Super Bowl. He didn't get the job done, but only one quarterback can get the job done every single season. It's a hard task to do, right? So it's not like, multiple people are winning the Super Bowl. So I think, he got your team there, which is far more than a lot of teams can say. So Jimmy G, I definitely think deserves his respect and, his grace and everything from Niners fans. We'll see where he goes. It'll be very interesting to see where he goes. But yeah, I think Jimmy G's time with the Niners has run its course. And I think the nice thing is it seems like it's going to be like one of those happy divorces, right? There it is, right? The Jimmy G bobblehead. I mean,
Jimmy G bobblehead. I've had this since opening day of the 2018 season. I mean, there was so much promise. So much promise. I love the guy. I'm never going to get rid of this. I mean, like I said, I've been critical of the man. He did so much for the organization. He turned us from a dark spot to a bright place. He handled everything with Trey Lance well this year. I think Trey said that he was his, I don't know if you saw the interview, but Trey said that Jimmy was like a big brother to him and he's going to be a best friend for life. That's touching.
Yeah.
I'm like I said, I'm very proud of Jimmy Garoppolo and how everything he's done, and I hope whatever team he goes to, he's able to be efficient, because he is a quarterback of whatever system that he's in. He's a system quarterback,
Very true.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing. He could go and help a team win games. And at the end of the day, the 49ers have been to the NFC Championship game 5 times in the last 10 years. The goal is to win a Super Bowl.
Yep, very true.
So he got paid $137 million. The 49ers took care of him.
Got to perform.
However,
that's a very good point. That's a very good point.
He did not deliver.
Yep.
He fell short. And like you said, it's hard to win a Super Bowl in the NFL. But we have to move on.
Yep.
We have to move on.
Agree.
And he understands that. His farewell speech was very touching. Said nothing but good things about Trey.
Yeah.
And let the Trey era begin.
There it is. All right, that's enough of Jimmy talk. Your overall thoughts on the game?
It just reminded me of the Super Bowl, man. It just reminded me of the Super Bowl. But the thing is the defense actually played well. I know they only gave up 13 points in the fourth quarter. They played well. It was for the second and third quarter, they did not allow the Rams to score any points at all. Yeah. So they played relatively well. They held the Rams to 20 points, which should be enough for you to win a football game. In the Super Bowl, they held the Chiefs to 31. We only scored 20.
Yeah.
If we would have scored 20 points in this game, we would have went to overtime.
Yep.
You have to score more than 17 points in a football game. We averaged 18.5 points in the postseason. Or 18 points. We averaged 18 points. 18 points is not enough to win an NFC championship game. It's just not enough.
Agreed. Yeah, that game was tough. For the second year in a row, we are having, a home team or a team in the Super Bowl playing at home, technically. But the nice thing is it's basically a neutral site. There ain't really many LA Rams fans there. So I guarantee the Bengals fans who are spending $10,000 on tickets,
they're going to show up.
They'll show up. But who? Like Chad Johnson said, what regular human being is paying for the Super Bowl? $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 for tickets. I mean, are you freaking kidding me?
3 or 4 months worth of rent or mortgage. People aren't doing that.
Absolute joke. Just an absolute joke. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, if NFL is for the fans, how about you open up maybe affordable fan tickets? You don't have to do it for the entire game.
Based on your income, I would agree with that. Based on your income, if you make below a certain amount, there's a section where the tickets are affordable.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. I mean, it's basically for the glitz and glam. And
but I don't want to buy nosebleed seats for $6,000. I'd rather watch it on row 1, seat 1 on my couch.
We're gonna see some glitz and glam, right, in LA. I mean, all the celebrities.
You're going, right?
Yeah, I'm going. I already got my tickets. I spent $15,000 on them. I mortgaged. I took out a loan. I took out a loan.
Where are your seats?
They're nosebleeds, like way up there, like last row. I got standing room only tickets. Actually,
when do you fly out?
For $15,000. I'm flying out the night of.
You're row 1, seat 1, right? On your couch.
Yeah.
Right?
Apparently the traffic there is horrendous. Apparently the traffic, like, to get into the stadium was horrendous in lines.
And let's be real here. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend anybody. But from when I went down there, Inglewood's pretty ghetto. From when I went there, maybe I'm wrong. But when I was driving around Inglewood, I was like, yeah, this is not... I don't have any business here. That's what I was thinking. Get me out of here. It was kind of like Vancouver. Get me out of
here. Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. I highly doubt we'll see any real Rams fans there. But without giving away your pick, without going too deep into it, just give me your top of the water expectations for the Super Bowl. We'll dive deep into it on Friday, but just give me your top of the water, right? Laying on the top, not underneath, right on top. What are your top expectations? Nothing too deep, but just some top level expectations.
I expect, to be honest with you, this to be a very, very high defensive game. That's my expectation. I think that it's going to be slow-paced. I think that there's not going to be a lot of scoring. I think that there's going to be some back and forth, but I do think it's going to be a defensive game.
I like it. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm expecting a defensive game. I'm expecting a good game. At the same time, it's a part of me, just a small part of me, kind of thinks that we're going to see LSU national title game where Joey's just going to come out and just blow the freaking doors.
Well, they started off slow in that game. I'm saying let's hope that doesn't happen in the Super Bowl because, at the beginning of that national championship game, if I remember correctly, I think that I'm going to say Clemson was up 17-7 at one point.
I'm not too.
I know Clemson scored the first touchdown.
Yes.
And I know they scored. They were up for at least the first, if not the second quarter.
And you know what's funny? That's Joey right there. Joey's a second half quarterback.
They blew them out though in the second half. In the second half, they lit them up. In a Super Bowl in the NFL with the pace, you don't want to start off slow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In any game, you don't want to start off slow, but I 100% agree. In the Super Bowl, that is the game that you definitely don't want to start off slow. But we'll get into our under the covers, our deep dive of the Super Bowl expectations on next Friday with you guys in our Super Bowl edition of Meat on the 50. That's going to do it for part one, right? I mean, so much action last Sunday. We're basically a week removed or away from the Super Bowl, a week removed from those games. Just crazy. These playoffs, like you said, the second round and the third round, what more could you ask for if you're a football fan? Both games coming down to the wire. Both games have drama just sewn in to the fabric of the story that is being told. It is crazy what we saw. That's going to do it for part one, but don't be too sad because part two is coming up right now. Alrighty, and that is going to do it for part one. I hope you guys enjoyed, right? I hope you guys enjoyed us reviewing the highlights. What a crazy weekend. Still can't believe the Bengals pulled it off. Absolutely incredible. Niners were so close to the Super Bowl that we all wanted. I think most of us wanted the Bengals and Niners, but we're getting the Bengals and Rams. Still two very good teams. Still, it should be a very good game, so we are excited. Remember, if you liked anything during this video, please smash the like button, smash subscribe button, just tap on that bell notification. That way, anytime new videos drop, and they drop every Wednesday and Friday, normally, barring a special presentation, you're right there to consume the content, because we're always dropping the knowledge just right there at your feet. You just gotta look down, pick it up, shove it in the head of your, shake it around, and boom, better fantasy player and a more knowledgeable football human being, right? Because that's what it's about. If you're not growing, you are dying. So always look for the opportunities to just learn learn more about things that you are passionate about, because just like a flower, just like a tree, just like grass, right? If you're not growing, it's dying, right? So always look for those opportunities to grow. So smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and just tap on that bell notification. Stay up to date on all the latest content. Remember, check out the website. I don't know where I'm going to do it yet, but boom, I don't know where. Check out the website, fantasytimesports.info, right? Has everything you need fantasy time wise. All of our info, all of our information, all of our episodes, all of our links, all of our updates, pictures, all of that good stuff is on the website, right? Follow us on Twitter at FantasyTime2021. Follow us on Facebook at The Fantasy Guy 2021, and then follow us on YouTube at FantasyTime2021. All 4 ways now you can stay in contact, in just the informational update of everything Fantasy Time. So just do me a favor and just go to all 3, check it out, and let us know what you think, right? That's going to do it for part 1. Part 2 is on the way. Be careful, it's coming on Wednesday, but that's going to do it for part 1. For Brandon, for myself, Jacob, I am the Fantasy Guy, and until Wednesday, Jacob and Brandon are out.